I'm KUMAR RAKESH and you're watching Global Governance News TV. Today I'm going to discuss UK elections. The relation of Bharat and UK is very strong and very warm. So today election result announced. Yesterday there was election and Mr. Keir Starmer as new PM of UK. He is from Labour Party and Rishi Sunak lost and he just accepted defeat with a humble gesture. Our Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated Mr. Starmer and as well as thanks to Mr. Rishi Sunak for the cordial and strong relationship between the Bharat and UK. So just I'll show some video clips, then we'll discuss with our eminent panelist, Vandana ji from Chicago, senior journalist, and Poonam Sharma ji. Welcome both our guests in this show. And but just start our discussion. I'll show some clips from Strammer and his Sunak. Just have a watch.
Did it? You campaigned for it, you fought for it, you voted for it, and now it has arrived. Change begins now.
Now, the sessions begin now, and just country is going to reset what he has said. And bus, this is very humble speech that 10 Downing Street. Just your last speech from the 10 Downing Street, Mr. Rishi Sunak.
Have made so that I might serve our country. One of the most remarkable things about Britain is just how unremarkable it is that 2 generations after my grandparents came here with little, I could become Prime Minister, and that I could watch my 2 young daughters light Diwali candles on the steps in Downing Street. We must hold true to that idea of who we are, that vision of kindness, decency, and tolerance that has always been the British way. This is a difficult day, at the end of a number of difficult days. But I leave this job honoured to have been your Prime Minister. This is the best country in the world, and it is thanks entirely to you, the British people, the true source of all our achievements, our strengths, and our greatness. Thank you.
And why the spirit of man and the size of just connected to Bharat. So the was them and yes, whatever he can do the best, he did the best. But there is so many allegations against. So that party also and against the story behind that. And this is a very good post from Sunak, just to have a watch.
You make our democracy possible. I'd also like to thank the police who have ensured that we can conduct this ballot here in North Yorkshire, but also across the country in safety. The Labour Party has won this general election, and I have called Sir Keir Starmer to congratulate him on his victory. Today, power will change hands in a peaceful and orderly manner, with goodwill on all sides. That is something that should give us all confidence in our country's stability and future. The British people have delivered a sobering verdict tonight. There is much to learn and reflect on, and I take responsibility for the loss.
I take responsibility from the loss. Just you can understand. And this is out of 650, 410. This is a majority for 3 to 6 only. This is 410. The Labour Party got and 118 the Conservative Party, and with that the other parties also, Liberal Democrats and the Scottish Nationalist Party, out of 59 they got only 9. So everywhere Labour and Labour and Labour after 14 years of whatever they can misrule. And there is 5 key points. After that we'll take the comments from both of you. There's 5 comments. The Labour on track on record-breaking election victory. In UK, Starmer Labour was course achieved a remarkable turnaround from the disaster result from party 2019 with a landslide victory forecast to be roughly on par with Tony Blair's first election in 1997. Predictions were Labour would win the 408 seats out of 650, well ahead the 326 required a majority, as I told you, with some seats fell the party in the swings 20 percent points from Conservative, including both the Worth and the list fell in the Midlands. First against South Swindon, South West of England, saw a swing of 16.4% and soon as losing Conservative to Labour. They were well ahead of 12.7 points needed to win an overall majority. And there is surprisingly, I can tell you, this is the total vote percentage 59.9%. As an average result as a Bharat, as the last we have seen the election, whatever you have seen, the 60 to 62, there is a 59 point. So this is the vote percentage and just voting pattern, almost same we can say like that. And it was anti-conservative vote than the pro-Labour one. This is also the good point. And this analysis and the Scotland's independence movement took a body blow. And the Alba party, he's just already formed a new party and just for already supported and the part of Scotland, they have the 19 seats. They already candidates were there. They have an initial phrase, hard reform wins a handful of seats. They also just crack somewhere, 4 seats they have won. British politics more than volatile. So it is said that this media, whatever reported there. So what is the first comment, Vandanaji, out of all inputs?
Good evening to both of you and to the viewers too. Interesting day, actually, when we talk about the country called United Kingdom, England. So this is the lowest turnout of voters in last 20 years. So you are seeing the trend what we saw in the Bharat elections in May 2024. You can really compare that. So
Yeah.
now the people, when we're talking about democracies, the new generation, they're not even interested in participating. Like, you don't see that much interest. Why? Like, and then we demand for it. So there has to be some, and this impact is like paradigm shift, to be honest, and different new world order, which we can see that like it's coming, and more leaning towards left, and I mean its outcomes are, and I'm just seeing forcing, to be honest, by seeing these results, what is coming in US now. I mean, it's going to be very interesting, Poonamji, to watch it when we talk. When we are very sure about when Rishi took the oath of the office, it was in the middle of the uh, means session. I mean, I should use the word. And at that very time, the condition of the United Kingdom was not very rosy. It was been very tough time for him to continue, but he was steady and he carried it. So we have to foresee, like, how it is going to be seen. But on the contrary, in this elections, because this party, which has got Labour Party, has got such a clear, like, the way the numbers, if you see, they have really got a very good number, because, and the Tories' loss is pretty big in spite of being incumbent. So that cannot be ignored either. Like,
Yeah. So, just Poonamji, what is the first comment after this election result in UK with the context of the Bharat, how it will affect the relation of the Bharat and UK? How do you analyze?
Namaskar. After 14 years, Rishi Sunak had lost, but he had won. In fact, his party had lost, and many of the important key people, key persons in his party, they had lost the election, and that was unfortunate. In fact, it is democracy, and elections, they come and go, and people also, they also choose according to the when the time changes, and it's the demands and a change people want. So we can see through this way also. But during his tenure, Rishi Sunak's tenure, he had to struggle a lot, and the people, the people of Britain, their challenges had been many, which I think the government, could not, you know, some sort of could not protect their own rights, regarding when we talk about crime rates going high, and of course the economic slowdown, and they came out of the European Union. And so how much hard he had tried, we can imagine. So much so that it has come to that extent that he became, means his party became unpopular in these days. In fact, in early days it was doing good, but after the challenges of illegal immigration and the crime rates and the housing schemes, because it was very difficult for the government to cope up with the
So
challenges which
that's
had
why
been.
you commented the challenge that there's many challenges from the
Right.
Keir
And
Starmer party. And
another
yeah,
question you had asked about the future of Indo England relation. So Bharat England relations.
yeah.
So you see, many Indian origin, they had won the election, but people, the government, or the government particularly, it works in the national interest of the
Yeah.
nation, of the
What is the
country.
official line?
So
They'll
it's
just carry on.
our
Yeah.
so it is our Bharat also has to keep the national interest in mind. So the time will tell. We do see
Yeah.
it in a positive way, in fact.
So time of break, and after break, I'll just take the already the both reaction. How many Bharatiya also just won the election from the Labour Party also, as well as the Conservative Party. Last time also many Indians Bharatiya already won the party. So at least as in British Indian British Bharatiya, they will take interest of that to strengthen the relation between the British and Bharat, as we hope, and has been doing now any part of the world. Bharatiya is this is all famous Ghana, say a song of Raj Kapoor, मेरा जूता है जापानी, पतलून इंग्लिस्तानी, सर पे लाल टोपी दोसी, मगर दिल है हिंदुस्तानी. So I can't repeat in English, but this is a very popular song. So we can say like that. So just stay with us. The time of break. After break, and just I'll come to you and for take for the lead. We'll come the break. Just I can tell you, Vandana ji, this is a very not good scenario for the British. But in tax burden is said to hit the highest since just after World War II. Net debt almost equivalent to annual economic output. Living standards have fallen and public services are creaking, and especially the much cherished the National Health Service has been the dogged by the strikes. These are the problems. How you think the new Prime Minister Starmer will just face it? And the
It's
immigration policy also, whatever Uganda immigration policy they made by this is a new idea, brainchild of this Sunak. Whether they'll carry or not, we'll have to see it, wait and watch.
it is not going to be an easy journey, to be very honest, when we are seeing it. And here comes the very answer in parenthesis. When the countries goes into that socialistic way of providing like free, so then these are the outcomes that you face, that you have refugees coming from the different nations and you give them free things. Like, we have people coming, we are facing the same thing in America, which the world is not, inflation goes very high, and there was COVID, and there are two wars going on at this present time. We all know that. And in the same situation is the same situation happening in Bharat also, Rohingyas coming and crossing
Yeah,
borders.
yeah,
But Bharat has been in a position to hold to an extent inflation, where in America we are not. And same is in the Western countries also, because they have gone way too ahead in providing. When we're talking about like residence homes to the refugees, those whom you are bringing in five-star hotels, and the government has to pay, we are seeing demographic changes. Like, we see a taxpayer somehow is paying for it, and then they feel the brunt of it. And that is
yeah.
healthcare, because somewhere somebody is
Yes,
paying for
yes,
it.
really, this I have seen it. I've been many
Nothing
times.
comes for free.
Yes,
You have seen it, the city
yeah.
that you live in New Delhi itself. You announce all these free. So there has to be
Some
something.
places worse than the, Bharat. Some
Yeah.
places are worse than Bharat, the NHS. And sometimes, if you
Venezuela.
remember, 8 years back, that time when the doctors on a strike, and they were just saying that all the Indian doctors, should be out. When they took the decision, they done, after that they realize and analyze if the Bharatiya doctors will go out, their health system will be already closed, almost maybe closed, like that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I
Yeah,
agree. Even in United States of America, every sixth physician is of Indian origin.
yeah. So I think the 5 years ago, the last election, there was the talk of the realignment of British politics as the conservative, then the led by Boris Johnson, took traditional working class area from Labour largely because voters are those areas where the willing support to the him to complete Brexit. Brexit also the curse for that, and Labour needed a record push to our swings simply to achieve a majority of one seat. But the result came is clear: the party was tracked to do considerably better than that. The voters had moved on to focus on the conservative economic record in office. Starmer's victory suggests there was no long-term realignment, but rather the old tribal loyalties in British politics, where people vote habitually, are not as strong as they once. British voters are quite prepared to judge politicians harshly if they are deemed to fail. A landslide victory is one election does not render defeat the next possible. So last, just not the least, I'll show the clips again of Strammer, how just he's behaving, how he just reacted, and then uh, we'll talk again if needed.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for that reception. What an amazing reception. We did it. You campaigned for it, you fought for it, you voted for it, and now it has arrived. Change begins now.
They see the face reaction of Mr. Strammer, and just a little one, uh, a small comments from the both of you. How just you visualize the face reaction one, how they did it. But as I think that was not proper jubilant face, whatever they can just think like that and they can do like that.
Yeah, I just mentioned it to you. It's not going to be an easy path for him, that
Yeah.
even with the numbers that he has, because versus the challenges that we have, you have to
Yeah.
compare that. Change begins. Will he be able to take those drastic decisions? Will he be able to fix on the demographics of the nation? And so that is going to be the biggest challenge that he will be facing in the coming months itself, starting today itself.
If you see the last 2010 to till now, how the election held, a 210 election after the 215, then the 217, 19, 24, and last not the least, Poonamji, do you think this is a blunder by Mr. Sonak? The election just declared 7 months before, and the due election due was January 2025. I'll take the one small comments also in the last one, the magic.
Yeah, definitely these things impact. If it's something you have plans, you have planned it for specific period, and then you prepone it and it happens. I think this had been a factor also. This had for his loss. But apart from that, there the ideological shift, actually the whole world is observing the polarization, the right left, and as Vandana ji has said, the
Yeah.
tilt in the leftist. So this has affected, and we'll see what future holds for them. So
Okay. Vandana ji, last.
Yes,
Last.
I'm somewhat not going to agree with it because they were forcing it what's coming. If they were prolonged the distance between this 121, what the votes they have got, the victory, it could have been much more because this is also cropping up. Everybody projected that this is going to be the outcome of the elections. It was very
Do
clear.
you think, sorry for interrupting, do you think any similarity between 2004 election of the BJP, when BJP just announced election 6 months before, and just like the 7 months before, there is any, you find any similarity and any the mistakes, any blunder?
I am not seeing that in that because 2004 and 2024, the time has changed big time.
Yeah.
And there is lot of things at that very time because again, selling yourself for 6 more months, you could have added much more problems for yourself than you were in today, to be honest, like,
No, but according to some
because
political
I
analysts
just
from the UK, they said that if there are election maybe in November or December, conservative may do better than this. That's why I am asking.
um, I don't know. These are projections only. People are speculating
Yeah,
because the results we could not, because we are not, nobody,
you are right.
even you have seen it, how much was portrayed in the Bharat elections, like what are the outcomes. We have ground reporters everywhere and all, and you have seen the results. So this is very unpredictable because when you're seeing it, the voting percentage is the lowest in the last 20 years in the UK elections.
Okay.
It's less than
So nice
60.
of you. Just congratulate again, Mr. Keir Starmer, for this new victory, and just to thanks to the all voters of UK, and we just hope that our relation between the Bharat and
Absolutely.
UK will be more stronger. So the last, he just joy with giving the salute to the Mr. Uh, Starmer, and
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for that reception. What an amazing reception. We did it. You campaigned for it, you fought for it, you voted for it, and now it has arrived. Change begins now.
Change begin now.